Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. We've decided to push ourselves to the limit, and to do that we've come all the way to Ireland, to what has been described as the most haunted castle in Europe, and it's called Lep. It's a place that instills fear into the most hardened of ghost hunters. There are 3 main rooms here with at least 20 ghosts, and we're going to be spending 24 hours with them all.
Lep Castle was built in the 14th century and was used as a stronghold of the O'Carroll family, powerful Irish princes who thought nothing of murder. In fact, the castle's history seems to be nothing but a massive bloodbath. In the 1930s, workmen discovered 3 cartloads of human bones in the dungeon, and a nasty ghost called an elemental, half animal, half human, enjoys terrorizing residents. Spending the night at Lep Castle were our usual crew, and they were feeling a little nervous at the prospect. Maybe our parapsychologist Jason Carl could put them at their ease.
Jason, we've heard that Lep is supposed to be the most haunted castle in Europe. Where does that come from?
Well, really it comes from people talking about the ghost stories. They're extremely well known through books about ghosts, websites, television programmes, etc., etc. And the reputation it's got is not necessarily down to the amount of phenomena that have occurred, it's more to the amount of attention that it's got.
Now, one of the main ghosts here is the elemental. What is an elemental ghost?
Well, of course, it's just a theory like any other ghost story. But elemental spirits or ghosts are supposed to be created by negative forces and influences, such as rituals. This castle is allegedly built on the site of a pagan ceremonial site. So those rituals will add to that. Also, there's stories of murders happening here. So the unpleasant history sort of forms, if you like, a being which people sense when they go into the place of a feeling of unease, and that is what's described as an elemental ghost.
And one of the other things that have been mentioned here, it's almost like a coil-type energy that people have seen. What on earth is that?
Well, these sort of coils, as you described it, of energy, or spirals of energy, are more often photographed than they're actually seen by a human eye. There are a couple of other places they've been seen, but mostly it's through the camera. Now, people have sent us these from all over the world, different cameras, different times, different places, and they all seem to show the same kind of image. They are alleged to be associated with ghosts because the places where the photographs have been taken are where people have seen ghosts. So we connect them to ghosts in that way. The truth is we don't know what they are. They're being described as energy. We don't know that. All we know is it's some form of light.
Could it be sort of a beginning of a manifestation of a ghost?
Well, that's again one of the theories that psychics and sensitives give to us, that there are different stages of ghost manifestation and that they need energy from some source in order to progress through the stages, and that this stage is called ectoplasmic formation, I believe, and that's supposed to be the 3rd stage before an actual apparition occurs. It's interesting as well that people have described here having a static or electric shock when it's occurred, because that fits in with the energy. The truth is, as with everything else, we don't really know.
Now, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I'm actually quite scared at our spiritualist medium Dokakora arriving. Now, he has no idea about Lep Castle at all. But what if he goes into one of those trance things?
I hope he does.
That'll do me in
Unless he's
totally.
too scared to come at all.
So just how had Lep's many ghosts made their presence felt to current owner Sean Ryan?
Well, we experience, most of all, I would say, from the beginning, copycat sounds when I was working, and lots and lots of footsteps. The other thing is like a chant, like monks chanting, and those are things that were happening from the start. The Carrolls here invited down mercenaries from north of Sligo. They were a sub-tribe of one of the great northern clans, the O'Neills. And so they invited them back here for a banquet, and they laced their drinks and killed all 39 of them in the chapel, in the bloody chapel. There's the famous elemental, I suppose, announces itself with a horrific smell, almost like a smell of rotting meat, and then appears on the spiral staircase and frightens the living daylights out of everybody.
My family and I were upstairs in the upper room, and I was sitting on the floor, and I saw a little girl running up the stairs. And from then on, people have been experiencing strange happenings. Sometimes I don't like going up the stairs on my own. One time we had visitors here, and there was an actor from America, and we were walking down the avenue, and she said that she saw something strange falling from the top of the castle, and it was the little girl. She saw the little girl falling from the top of the castle, and she hadn't been told about it, so she didn't know.
One of Lep Castle's many ghostly residents seems to be particular about who she makes contact with.
The unusual thing about the nanny or governess is that people who visit here experience her much, much more than we do. Even as late as last week, we had a lady here who met her, and she brushed out. See, she tends to brush off people and touch people and that. And unusually, it's actually people who are blonde that she's most attracted to. For some reason, we have no reason in the wide out of the world we don't know why. But right since we've come here, and it's been people who are fair-haired that she touches off. But there's an old man that comes down from, he's in the oubliette, he lives in the oubliette, and we are told quite happy to be in the oubliette, but he does leave it and comes down to the upper hall occasionally. And he has moved a couple of pictures off the wall for me, and because I misbehaved, I didn't honour a promise I made. They asked, in fact, that we would never lock the door coming out of the upper hall. And I did one night, and the pictures were taken off the wall and left beside me in the bed. So, and it was just a gentle reminder to say that not to do it again, so we haven't. At the end of the 1700s, early 1800s, a lot of Irish men married into the Cherokee Nation. So in their names, quite a lot of them have Irish surnames. So a lot of the elder ladies come back to Ireland looking for tracing roots and that, Irish roots. They made a contact, they were constantly in contact with the spirits here. They found that, I was working on the place at the time, restoring, I mean, I still am and I will be for the next 100 years, but they found that they were huddled in corners and quite afraid of the work that was going on. I think they thought that it might be, taking the place back to earlier times when I suppose maybe they lost their lives or whatever here, and that the regime probably wasn't very good here, and they were quite afraid of that. So they were reassured that that wasn't going to be the way.
With such a cast of spiritual characters to choose from, our producer Carl decided to waste no time in getting down to the serious business of ghost hunting.
Well, it's 12:30, and I'll come up into this room, which is the middle room, the banqueting room, I suppose. We've there's a little girl been seen in here, or two little girls been seen in here, which are, and sometimes they're matron, I suppose. I'm going to sit quietly and see what happens, because it's been seen quite often during the day as well as at night. If you're here, please try to show yourself to me. Please try to appear by the fire if you're there. Do you exist? Are you really here? Are you really here? If you are here, just try to show yourself.
There are so many ghosts in this building it would take us about half an hour to talk about each and every one of them. Now, they don't just like to confine themselves to one room. They like to wander freely throughout the whole of the castle, and you never know when you might bump into one. It's hard to believe that this room used to be a chapel. Now, 39 people were massacred here, and over in the corner is a small dungeon. It's also known as an oubliette, where hundreds of people lost their lives. In the 1930s, workmen discovered 3 cartloads of human bones. And many people have seen the ghost of an old man desperately trying to climb out. The ghosts of 2 little girls have often been seen playing in this particular room on the first floor. They've been given names Charlotte and Emily. Now, Emily died when she fell from the battlements from the top of the tower. And ever since then, Charlotte has been seen running after her sister and calling out her name.
Whilst we all waited for our spiritualist medium Derek Akora to arrive, some of us were starting to experience some strange phenomena.
This has been taking photographs all day, and the battery is fully charged, the lithium battery you can recharge, and it's gone dead. I've just been taking photographs, which I just showed you, and it's gone dead. And it always gives you a warning light that it's going to go, like a few minutes before it's going to go, and it's just completely dead now.
I was just there chatting with Carl and Stuart, just a normal conversation, and something's just whispered in my ear, and just, couldn't make out what it was. It was just like,
Oh, God.
in my ear, and I was just sort of
What, right in your ear?
Absolutely sure.
120% positive.
How does that make you feel?
Nervous, but excited at the same time.
Hey, there is actually quite a high electromagnetic fluctuation here of
Oh, look at
15 milligauss.
Get that, wow.
15 milligauss. Oh, it's less now, 5 milligauss. See, that's changed, 10 milligauss. Now, the only explanation for that would be if it was under the ground. You can see that it's gone back down to 4, so it's not caused by something under the flagstones, if there was anything in an ancient castle. Do you want to try it?
Are you scared?
No, I just think it's amazing. I've never seen such a radical reaction as that before. And basically what that's showing is that there is an electromagnetic fluctuation of the natural electromagnetic field in this area. Now you can see it's gone back down to 0 now, nothing at all.
Tension was definitely mounting, and then Angle reported a possible encounter with the nanny.
Because I stood outside and somebody tapped me on my arm, and I thought it was somebody else, but there's nobody around me.
I think this castle has an enormous paranormal reputation. What it does, it's in every ghost book that's ever been published, and in that sense it's got an awful lot to live up to. The one thing that's interested me so far is that Angle feels that something touched her, and there was no one near at the time. And at that point, none of us knew what Sean has since told us, that one of the ghosts is attracted or likes to interfere with people with blonde hair, or she has bleached hair. Does that intrigue you?
After hearing all the ghost stories throughout the day and knowing of the history and murders, our adrenaline was pumping and expectations were high. Surely we would experience something paranormal at Lep Castle.
There you go. We're locked in for the night. And I have the keys and I'm going to hide them. So if anybody wants to escape, you can't. Right, should we get going?
Yes, please.
Where do you want to go, Derek?
I'd like to go up those stairs of that, Jason, okay?
Right, okay. Let's go.
As we climbed the stairs, Derek was picking up the presence of a woman who was standing on the balcony in the gallery room. Little did he know he was about to experience something beyond his understanding.
There's a figure of a person I couldn't see quite clearly and has moved over towards the chair. This is a very, or she appears to be, from this angle, for a lady quite tall. She's wearing this very free-flowing, very bright red gown dress. Now, what I can't understand, her face changed, this ugly, grotesque-looking face, and her face was taken away. What I'd like to do with it, Jason, is that I'd like to go up there, onto that area, because her essence is still there, but she's not showing herself now.
Is it, how many people can get up there, Carl? What's the floor like?
I mean, the floor seems fine.
Yeah, I mean, three of you can get up there, perhaps one on the camera.
Here she is again. She's coming to the back. Come on, Sam, encourage her. Encourage her. That's the way. Oh, look, she's doing it again to me. Give me it then. Give it to me. Did you hit my hand? Did you hit my hand? Okay. She's playing with me, this lady. She's playing with me.
Earlier on, Derek had a can of drink in his hand when we weren't on camera, and it was the weirdest thing. The can just flew out of his hand, and Derek was saying that somebody had hit him on the wrist.
A hand has gone. Oh, look at it shimmering. Oh, I can see through the conditions. This is interdimensional. This is not just spirit. Look at that. Oh. She's changing shape. She's changing shape, Yvette.
What does that mean?
Interdimensional. We must, Yvette, can we go up to this area?
Oh.
We must go up here. I'm very close. Right, we get the transference from the lady in the red, and she learned the black arts to change her conditions to this. Show yourself. Show yourself. Oh, there it is, look at it. Now, I would describe what I'm actually experiencing and seeing here. It's not animal.
Be careful, please.
Off camera, you can hear the owner, Sean, who was becoming nervous as Derek was describing the elemental ghost.
Be careful, please.
How do I say this? How can I continue with this condition if I can't speak? Bless you. How do I say it, Sam? How do I say it? The man lives here. I don't know how I can continue this.
Sean was purely concerned for Derek and felt the need to warn him about this particular spirit, but was eager for us to continue.
Go on.
I would never, ever, to this present day, in all my work, would I have believed, up to this moment, what I'm actually experiencing now of it. This dual soul could transfer and shape, shift.
So she's changing into this
Yes.
thing.
And there's also Sir Henry. Sir Henry. Sir Henry Darby.
Shall we move away from here?
I need to speak, guys. I know when I've got battery problems and when a battery's going flat, and your battery's not going flat, but something unplugged it, something completely cut out your radio mic and then put it back on. There's been no interference all day long, and it's on tape.
Oh my
And
God.
it's basically been cut out and then cut back in.
From my radio mic?
Yep. Right, that is solid in there. Right, and if I do that, then you'll hear it on the tape. It'll go pachung. And if I do that, it'll go pachung. If the battery's going flat, it completely distorts, and I'd know that.
Well, you put a brand one in anyway.
That's in there, solid.
This is what Martin heard when my radio mic cut out. There is no explanation why the sound should break up, and it left us baffled as to how it could have happened. In the bloody chapel, Derek was picking up on murder, but whose?
Right, I'll just have a look here. Oh, he's in there.
Who's in there?
Right, there's a hooded man, a monk. And he doesn't want us in there, you see.
I don't think he can get in there because there's so much straw.
He's there. Oh my gosh.
You all right?
Yeah. Oh, I've also got two other entities. These two were locked behind something. They were murdered, they were killed. Someone went mad. Oh, let me out this atmosphere. The monk prevents. It's like as if I'm getting the feeling of a monk, but I'm also getting the feelings of what a priest would be like. Again, those two conditions, him down on his knees in prayer state, and it's because of his emanations and elevations, he prevents any over activity on the negative side of this individual woman who practiced these black arts.
The Bloody Chapel was certainly living up to its name. Derek was picking up the presence of two other spirits.
They've been here a long time, and they're together. I feel they must be husband and wife, even though they're in the spiritual body. But again, I'm told we must go.
Let's go downstairs then.
To the lower levels.
Yeah.
Our night investigation of Lep Castle continued with Derek on the trail of two wandering spirits.
You wanted us to come downstairs.
Yes.
We've switched to night vision cameras. What did you want to talk about down here?
Well, I was told to come down because earlier on I was aware again of a couple of, two souls. They were a husband and wife team. They were not owners of this castle, I believe. They actually worked here.
As servants?
Yes, a husband and wife. I get Gerald very strongly, and Agnes.
Do you know what sort of time period they were working here?
Well, I'll describe the conditions when earlier I looked and I saw a lovely lady. Gosh, you know, actually, it's unusual to see this. A man and a woman, virtually of the same height. There was nothing in it, and both very small. And, you know, Agnes, I was very aware, even though she was a worker, she must have took pride in herself because she was well kempt, so to speak, if that's right. And it was a beautiful green, like flowing dress, long dress. He, in reflection, had a jacket that was, if I may just describe it, was just rounded like this. And he had a big, a buckled belt type thing here. Something, I don't know if they call them breeches or something. And also big, not boots, but not shoes, with a big buckle. And he looked, you know, as if so content. A content couple. Now, they wore whatever was extended to this window here, going in this direction, the building. They used to walk, maybe they worked in this area and going through, and they often walk, if I may do it, not actually linking each other, but they'll walk together, you know, through passageways. And I feel as if, just like all the other elements, individual elements that are here, and you know, I've got to point this out as well. There are more spirits here than what have actually shown themselves tonight, without a doubt. However, I will say the vast majority of them, okay, do not hold on to any tinge of evil, except a practice of one individual, a woman, who's done the shifting. And she was, as we talk about masters in something, she was like a master, female master of these arts.
We knew that by splitting into smaller groups, we had a better chance encountering any paranormal activity. And also it gave us the ability to cover more of the castle using our night vision cameras. Carl and Rick went to the Bloody Chapel.
Rick. It's seance time.
Where?
In here.
That. Not happening.
I understand exactly what you're saying, and I agree wholeheartedly. Should we do a seance in?
No, I don't want to do a seance.
So, we're going to do a seance then?
Do we have to?
Should we do a seance?
No.
Should we do a seance?
Can we just speak to him?
Should we do a seance?
I'm not doing a seance.
Should we do a seance?
No, that's bad.
Should we do a seance? Are you getting sort of like, I'm not taking no for an answer here.
I don't want to do a seance.
Should we do a seance? Should we do a seance?
You say that?
Hmm? You're not going to get me out of this. Are you doing a seance? I'll tell you what. I've got an idea. How about, right, we don't do a seance, but you and I sit opposite each other, we link fingers with a candle in the middle, and we ask something to turn up. The same as what we would do without linking fingers.
So don't link at all.
No, we do link fingers. How can linking fingers be bad? I thought you northern people were really hard and... Well, I don't believe in that rubbish anyway. But here you are. Guy from the south. Come on, let's do a seance. Northern bloke, hard as nails. No, I'm scared. I don't think I can do it.
Turn the camera on me. I want this conversation to be viewed on the air now. I'm being serious.
Ooh.
What?
I think we might have had a little flashy.
Have a look over Rick's shoulder. This strange but small light is just another piece of evidence to suggest that they were not alone.
We're doing no bleeding seance.
It's fine. Come on, let's do a seance.
This is for all the northerners out there. You better buy me a pint if you see me in a pub.
Our night at Lep Castle continued. A very reluctant Rick had agreed to holding a séance with Carl. Meanwhile, the rest of us had split up. Jason stayed in the Great Hall and Stuart and myself were in the gallery room. I was feeling extremely nervous, especially after Derek had picked up on the elemental ghost in that same room.
When Derek was up here earlier on, Ben talking about the elemental ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that scared the hell out of me, and also that there was something playing around with my microphone. That was scary. And here we are sitting in this pitch black room. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody in the room? Is there a little girl in the room? Oh, got a tiny little flash. Is that the little girl? You hear us? Are you here, sweetheart?
Please show yourself.
How can people live here? How can they live here?
They get used to it, don't they?
Did you see that? You just got no.
I've seen it.
The light that we had caught on camera was an orb, one of the first stages of a ghost manifestation, and it was coming from the balcony where the elemental ghost has been seen.
Maybe if we go on the balcony itself.
No, I'm not going on the balcony.
Why?
I'll put on my pants.
You won't. Where's that torch?
Oh, great. Now you say, where's that torch? It's behind us.
Right, let me run this.
Where's the torch? Wally. You are Mr. Torchman. You always have torches.
I am the torch man.
I'm getting a cold blast on my hand.
Yeah?
Yeah, you want to turn your camera on me? I'm getting a cold blast on my hand. Oh, God.
Which end?
This one here. Here.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It's still there.
Yes, I'm getting cold. I'm getting really cold. It's all over my legs as well. And I've been sitting here really warm. It's not a cold room, it's a warm room.
A lady in red. Where are you, eh?
No, don't say that.
Up at the top of the castle, Carl and Rick sat quietly and tried to contact any spirits that may still be lingering.
Right, we're about to conduct a small seance, just the two of us. We're in the bloody chapel. And Rick's not happy about doing this. Are you, Rick?
No.
Right. Try and clear your mind. Think of emptiness. If there's anybody there, please try to show yourself to us. Either by touching one of us, moving something, or making a banging sound. Is there anybody there? If there is, try to show yourself to us.
Oh God, I'm going freezing all over. It's all over me. I'm in a cold spot. Oh my God, I'm freezing. I'm freezing. I'm freezing. It's blowing in my ears, Stuart.
It's alright, it's alright.
It's not all right. It's going, it's going, it's going. Please go away. What the hell am I doing this for? What am I doing this for?
Because it's different.
Yourself flipping out, failure.
You're alright. I think we need to go up there on that balcony.
Not yet, not yet. I'm just not ready yet. Was that you? Something pushed my legs.
I never moved my leg once, and...
Oh, Stuart, I can't cope with it anymore.
No, I didn't touch you, honestly.
You did?
I
You
didn't.
must have done.
No, I didn't.
Well, somebody's touched my leg.
I never moved. I was still.
Look at my hands. Well, they're not that shaky on camera.
Try to use our energy to manifest yourself. If you can speak, speak. Try to blow the candle out if you can. Try to blow the candle out if you can.
Shocker.
Where are you looking? Where are you
Oh
looking?
my
What are you
God,
looking
I
about?
got a big orb by the balcony. There's stuff coming from that balcony.
Anywhere you're pushing my hands apart. How you feel? Feel fine?
During the séance, the candle flickered violently at a couple of key moments. Was this coincidental, or was there something or someone in the bloody chapel with them?
Fancy going on that balcony now?
No,
Why?
because...
We go up there together.
Yeah, but that's where Derek saw that thing.
So?
Okay. But if I don't like it, can we come out?
We'll come straight back down if
And
you don't
we'll
like
not
it.
come back in here because we've... And we'll go back with the boat down there
Okay.
for a break.
Okay, now.
Okay, should we put the torch on?
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Go on, where you going?
No, come on, you've got to come with me.
I'm waiting for you.
No, come with me.
I'm behind you.
With me now.
on then.
Don't stand there and leave me on my bloody own. Don't, please, don't. I'm not going up on there on my own.
I'm with you. Right, I'll be serious.
Like now, come on.
Right, come on then.
Oh,
Is that the door? Yes, it is. That's
the one, that's it.
that's the bedroom. Okay.
Why do I have to go that way? I'm going to stand on this box.
Okay.
Right, you're in the balcony. This is where you wanted to be. People sleep in here. Why did they sleep?
It's only me, it's only my fault in the chair.
There's a lot of stuff coming from here. Isn't there?
Mm-hmm. This is where all the action happened.
Stand behind me.
I'm behind you.
Right behind me.
I am.
No,
I am.
No, don't shut the door. Don't shut the door. Please don't shut the door. Don't shut the door. Don't shut the door. Don't shut it. Never shut a door. Sorry, Stuart. Don't! No! No! Open the door, you stupid idiot!
All right, calm down, Yvette. Shh. Hey. All right. It's all right, it's all right. I closed the door and Yvette cried. It's all right.
Stuart, shut the door.
He didn't, it's fine. It's
He
just,
did.
it's only door shut, it's fine.
I'm just so frightened.
The night had come to an end for me as my nerves were shattered. Carl and Marcel went back up into the bloody chapel as a last attempt to see if anything would happen.
I'm scared. You just heard a noise from over there. And that is where the monk, the body monk, is supposed to be seen. Walking there and literally would walk right through us to get to the windows behind us.
I'm really scared.
Don't be scared, I'm fine.
But Marcel's nerves were all that showed on camera. Lep still contained one area that we had yet to visit. We had gone to the top of the castle. Now it was time to visit its depths.
This is another part we're splitting off. I'm with Rick, and we're going down into the cellar that apparently has like a labyrinth underneath the castle, so we might not see you again. Oh. Now, Rick, we have been down here for what?
10 seconds. Oh, wow.
Had Rick seen an orb? If so, it was extremely clear.
That was just a really slow orb and it just went shh, down by my feet. Yeah, oh. Look at these.
2 orbs had rushed past Rick's feet into the deeper recesses of the cellar. Could they be the spirits of the 2 little girls?
Really be sitting on the camera. Oh, this is just a fucking nightmare. Hello. Oh. Don't like the look of this.
It goes on for miles.
Hold on, what's down here? That ends, doesn't it? Where are you going?
You're right.
Yeah. Orb.
Once again, Carl and Rick had caught 2 orbs on camera. Were these the little girls, sisters Charlotte and Emily? We would never know. Dust, insects, or ghost manifestation, whatever these light anomalies are, they were plentiful at Lep Castle. Jason had been downstairs in the Great Hall and thought he had caught nothing. It was only until we were editing this programme that we saw this small orb, which is very similar to the ones coming from the balcony. Were they related to the famous elemental ghost?
When Sean shouted out, I just immediately got the feeling that what I was actually talking about, he was recognising in one manner or another. What I did see took me back because that particular experience, I'd never in my encounters seen anything quite like it.
Well, all the crew knew where they were coming. I told them in advance that this is probably the most haunted castle in Europe. It certainly has a reputation. So their expectations of phenomena and experiences here were enormous. And therefore the auto-suggestion when they're coming here talking about the ghost stories before Derek arrived, again, enormous. And therefore they really probably consider that they've had a very disappointing night. I, on the other hand, had extremely low expectations because in most places I go, very little or nothing happens at all that you can't explain. But this impressed me because we had a lot of different events. Now, I'm not saying they're all paranormal. We had lots of inexplicable occurrences, in particular the electromagnetic field fluctuation. Rick had a whisper in his ear. My batteries on my camera going dead, which incidentally an hour later worked absolutely fine for the duration of the night. It all happened at the same time, and that's more interesting than one single uncorroborated event experienced by one person. This experienced by lots of people in the same place at the same time.
In actual fact, I was drinking a cold drink from a can, and standing by the fire, and just in general conversation with everyone, and then suddenly, whack across my hand, knocked the can out of my hand, and I thought, how uncouth, how nasty. So I had to find out who it was. And then later we did encounter the spirit person.
Having been to Lep Castle, a place where I've wanted to come since I was about 14 years old, having read about it in ghost story books back then, I'm very impressed by it and I've really enjoyed myself here. Now, whether I believe in ghosts or not, I don't think I do, but I do believe odd things happen. And as I was sitting in the Great Hall last night, thinking about the paranormal generally, a saying came to mind, which is a very famous saying, which is that there are more things in this heaven and earth than we can possibly imagine in our philosophy. And I think I probably agree with that to some extent, having been here.
Well, initially, I saw quite a tall lady, quite a slim, tall lady, in a very, very, very vivid, free-flowing gown, a red gown, and, you know, very pretty featured. And then suddenly, not the body, but the face change to this, well, the only thing way I can describe it is quite an ugly form of, well, non-human face. This encounter, this sort of experience, was the first of its kind for me. And then it just, well, it made me feel as if I really wanted to get up there and get stuck in and find out exactly what I'd been seeing. You've got so many good, lovely spirits that they know the slight negative and they say, we keep that in place. So, I think it's a wonderful, probably one of the best sites that I personally have had the pleasure to be invited into.
Well, the Most Haunted team have done it. We lasted throughout the night, something we're quite proud of, because we all managed to stay in the most haunted castle in Europe. We shall see you on our next location. In the meantime, sleep tight.